Hey, what's happening? And thank you guys for tuning back into the channel. So today we're just going to do a quick recap on part of the scenes from episode 8 from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, I did not do a review on last week's episode when Miss Wanda came busting out on the scenes, arguing with everybody. That was just a lot going on, a little bit too much. And I don't know, I just didn't have much to say because it was just a little bit too much tomfoolery. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone. But this past Saturday, the show started off. The first scene starts out with Melody doing a behind the scenes of her video, Telltale Signs. And she expressed how, growing up, she always had dreams of singing and being in videos. And basically just how grateful she is to literally be living out her dreams right now. It then goes to a scene with her and her friend Brittany, where she's apologizing for Martell's antics and saying that she wasn't a well-equipped babysitter. Now, the next scene shows Tisha coming into Black and having a conversation with Jaylin. Jaylin's there at the Black Cigar Lounge. He's putting up the receipts. And Tisha asks him, how are things with the shortage with the bar manager and the chef leaving over the holiday weekend? Well, Jaylin basically said that, it's been real tough, with everybody leaving. But he did say that the bartenders and servers came in and stepped up to the plate, which that helped out a lot. Then Tisha goes on to say that, she was missing some emailed reports from Jaylin. And he pretty much just responded and said, he's been working in the kitchen, having to bartend, and basically trying to be a manager all at the same time. So he said, it's just been a lot of responsibility and that he needed some help. Now, Tisha's response to him was, well, but, you still need to do your job as a manager despite the fact that you're doing job A, B, C, D, and E. It literally kind of like just went totally over her head. As a good manager would have said, or a good owner would have said, well, you know what? I understand and I appreciate all the extra work that you're doing. I'm going to make sure we get you some help. Or, I know you've been asking for some training. We'll get you some training and we'll get you some help. There was no answer to his problem. Now, in the confessional, he said he had a lot of responsibility and he needed some help. And basically, where were they at? Pretty much nowhere to be found. Now, I think what really bothered me the most too was when Tisha said, well, you still got to do your job, even though you're cooking, you're bartending and all of that. Like, you still got to do your job. Okay, so what happens if he now does his job and there's nobody to cook the food? So now you got people there that, sitting there waiting for hours to get something to eat. Or, somebody's sitting there at the bar waiting to get a drink because he's doing his job. What she should have said was, we're going to come in and we're going to help you when you're short-staffed. I'm telling you, you guys, I was so mad. And then Jaylin goes on to say, this is why people quit. And he sees why. Now, when they get to the scene where he's sitting down with Tisha and Marsau, Marsau basically kind of recaps everything Jaylin's been doing. And he just says he felt really good about Jaylin's performance. But then in the next breath, he asked Jaylin for feedback about the two of them. And of course, Jaylin was honest. He said, there was a lot more hands off than what he thought there would be. He didn't get the training that he thought he was going to get. And once again, this young man is literally just begging to get some training. He said that he was expecting Marsau and Tisha to show up during the big holiday weekend with a cape on to say like, hey, can I cook? Can I do some dishes? Is there anything we can do basically to help you? And he said the fact that they never showed up, it threw him off a little bit. Now, Marsau goes on to say that, basically Jaylin swam with the sharks and that he was hoping that Jaylin would be capable of seeing what he was able to do. He also says that you can't get stronger unless you put more stress on yourself than you can bear. And I'm thinking like, what? Life is stressful enough. And we all know, like, if you got stress at home or stress outside of work, nobody wants to go to work and have unnecessary stress. I mean, you're going to have stress at work, but unnecessary stress, yeah, that's not going to work for me. Jaylin did go on to say that he definitely understood why people up and left. Tisha says, oh yeah, you survived. And then she says, yeah, Marsau told me that you were going to figure it out. Marsau also said that it was priceless life experience. Now, I'm not trying to gain priceless life experience at the expense of somebody else's bottom line. Like, I don't think that's fair. But anyway, somebody made a comment on Facebook about basically how Tisha and Marsau are wrong for not getting him some help. And Marsau responded by saying, he says, I don't even know the recipe for anything besides getting it out the mud. This young man will have a family one day. He will have to know that the buck stops with him and how to survive when it seems like he can't. He says, we're building character, and for that it takes fire. We are Scots, F with us. I'm sorry, but everybody don't have to get it out the mud. And if you got a family or if you got a wife or whatever, I'm sorry. There is no I in team. We are a team. We all gonna make it work and figure it out. So to put that type of stress on one person to have to figure it all out, I just really don't think it's fair. And you have to think about a person's mental health. And the fact that, we heard in episodes prior where he said he was working 7 days a week. Imagine being under that type of stress day in and day out, 7 days a week. It's just not even fair. Now, Marsau also says, he said he's not comfortable when people don't understand these methods. It's the path rarely chosen. He said, if I followed the path that everyone else knows is right, I would be where everyone else is. Now, that's not exactly true in any sense, because you don't have to literally almost kill yourself just to get ahead in life. It's okay to ask people for help to get you maybe to the next level. If there's somebody else who has expertise in something, you can always reach out to somebody else to help you in an area that maybe you need help in. So let me know what you guys are thinking. I mean, like, do you feel like Jaylin needs to just get it in the mud and learn how to struggle and rise to the top? Or do you think it's highly unfair to have this young man working 7 days a week? He's begging for help, and he has still not gotten any training nor any assistance after all of the staff has walked out. And how do you feel about Marsau's approach in building character in Jaylin? Do you think it's the right way to do it? Let me know what you're thinking about that. Go ahead and comment below. I thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.